What's up everybody, AnimeX here, and in this video, I'll be continuing the What If Sakura Was Useful series. This is obviously because you guys were able to beat the like goal for the last week's episode, so as a result, we have another one. Now, since I'll beat the last like goal, I have to up it even further. So for another part next week, the like goal for this video will be 1200 likes. 1200 likes on this, and you guys will get another part to this What If. Anyways, as usual, I'll be recapping the last part of the story, then jumping to the new material. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, in the last part of this What If, we basically dealt with Sakura, along with basically everybody else that is going to move on to the next part of the Chunin exams, getting their 1 month training in, although we did focus on Sakura since that is basically the only thing, or the main thing that would change in this storyline for the 1 month training. We saw her train her body, basically train her taijutsu ability, even asking Lee to learn the 8 gates, although he does refuse due to the fact that he wants Sakura to basically be safe and not overdo it with her fight, similar to how he did it with his. And we did leave off on a pretty big bombshell, so if you didn't watch the last part, I do recommend you go watch part 2, because what I'm about to say, or what we're about to get into, may be a little bit of a spoiler for you. But basically, we got into Sakura versus Gaara. Now, due to some very unlucky circumstances, she was pit up against Gaara, so that's where we're going to jump right back into the story. Now, like I said, we left off with the bombshell realization that due to some unlucky circumstances, Sakura Haruno will be fighting Gaara in the first match. Now, Sakura jumps down to get in the arena with Gaara, and she can't help but feel overwhelmed with nervousness and fear as she looks at Gaara, the genin who is not only injured, but has beat Rock Lee, but is also the genin who even holds the fear of the people from his own village. Now, when this is announced, to everyone that knows Sakura is in uproar as they object to her fighting Gaara. Lee and Ino are screaming at Sakura to just pull back from the fight and just let Gaara advance because he's way too strong and she's going to get hurt in this fight. Even Naruto, someone who usually advocates for someone pushing themselves beyond the limit, is scared of Gaara and is aware that fighting Gaara probably isn't the best idea. Now, when hearing all of this, Sakura does want to listen. She does want to give up, and she does want Gaara to just basically move on. She doesn't want to deal with this. But, in spite of all this, she turns around, still completely overtaken by fear. But she smiles shakily and holds a thumbs up to the crowd, basically proving her way of saying, I can do this. I will fight. She then turns back to Gaara and waits for the proctor to start the fight. She then takes in a deep breath, filling her body with oxygen as she converts her fear into raw energy. It's time to just see how strong I've actually gotten. The proctor then says to start, and Sakura leaps at Gaara full speed, even using chakra to boost her speed, hoping that she could possibly get past the sand's defense. She then throws the first punch and collides with the sand. She then shifts to the side and kicks, still blocked by the sand's defense. She then throws a barrage of punches and kicks that all collide with the sand. She then jumps back. Damn, guess I was right about not outspeeding the sand. Lee also acknowledges that Sakura is far too slow to outpace the sand, saying that she isn't even at the level of weighted Lee, much less the weightless Lee that was required to outspeed it. Sakura then leaps backwards, getting a large amount of distance between the two. Alright, if speed won't work, it's time to try Genjutsu. She then looks at Gaara intently as he stares back. She then performs her signature snap, and Gaara sees his motion, which makes his head droop, immobilizing him in her Genjutsu. It worked. She then runs at Gaara full speed, hoping to hit him with many attacks and win before he breaks the Genjutsu, but when she throws a punch, it is still blocked by the sand that still acts on its own accord, whether or not Gaara is aware of it. Gaara is also able to break out of the Genjutsu by using Shukaku. He also uses the sand clone to hit Sakura across the stadium into one of the walls, which knocks some sense into her. Lee looks down, wondering if Sakura is okay. She then slowly climbs out of the rubble with only a few minor cuts on her forehead, which drips blood onto the ground. Fine. I guess I was foolish to even consider holding back against the legendary Gaara. She then walks into the light, out of the wall's shadow and out of the rubble, and she sits back down and she seems to be taking something off. She then stands up and drops the weighted clothing that Might Guy gave to her over her training period. Similar to Lee's weights, it's basically like straps for her arm and legs that she took off. Lee looks at Sakura and wonders, even if these weights make her fast enough to dodge his attack, Gaara's defense is too fast to outspeed at this level. Sakura then rushes at Gaara. Might Guy also comments that Sakura's speed, basically saying that it's approaching the levels of Lee with his weights on, saying that it's pretty impressive. Gaara just looks at Sakura, clearly unamused by this fight, and just stands there expecting the sand shield to keep him safe and tire Sakura out in the process. Sakura then gets in range of the sand. Compress all of my chakra into my fist and make it explode upon impact. She then throws a punch at Gaara with the sand moving in the way. However, instead of blocking her punch effectively, her fist cuts cleanly through the defense like butter and hits Gaara in the jaw and makes Gaara go flying in the opposite direction. Lee, Naruto, Ino, and even Might Guy, who was watching, thinks that Sakura had something up her sleeve, was impressed. If I can't outspeed it, I'll just have to break through. Gaara gets up, and when he does this, a look in his eyes oozes bloodlust and hatred. I'll kill you. 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 Sakura then appears in front of Gaara and punches through the sand once again, cracking his sand armor, and continues to do this until she finally lands a blow that draws blood from Gaara. By this point, the whole crowd is in complete chaos with this random Kunoichi harming Gaara, who is fabled to be this insanely strong ninja. Sakura, however, is close to her stamina limit, with each punch that she throws draining her chakra reserves immensely. Sakura then charges again, knowing that she has the upper hand in this battle, and this time hits the shield that even surpasses the automatic defense. She jumps back, recognizing this as something that surpasses the durability of anything she's attacked before, and knows that she'll have to basically amp her strength. Fine, hide away in your little bubble. I'll have to finish this fight with the next barrage then. She then charges the defense at full speed. Then, the moment that she gets within striking distance of Gaara, she transfers all of her chakra into her legs and she jumps straight up, high into the air, even above the crowds. Might Guy and everyone looks up and looks at Sakura. This attack is far stronger than anything she has done up to this point. But after this, Sakura will be done for. Sakura has charged up all of her chakra into her right leg and left arm, knowing that if she can't finish this fight here, she will lose regardless. She then comes falling down, being taken down by the speed of gravity, and then at the last moment, right before she's about to land on it, she brings her foot down with speed and strength and slams it down into the sand shield, similar to the Raikage's guillotine drop. And when she brings her foot down onto the sand shield cracks. It cracks in half, allowing Sakura to see Gaara and give her an opening. Now, due to the strength on both sides of this basically Sakura's leg breaks, but she fights through this excruciating pain, throws a final punch at Gaara's head that slams him into the ground, creating a massive shockwave and separates the two. Sakura goes flying into the ground and almost passes out from the pain in her leg. She looks up to see Gaara on the ground as well. She tries to get up, but the pain in her leg stops her from moving. Well, I guess this was my limit. Damn it. I really wanted to show how much stronger I was now. Sakura tears up as she stays on the ground. I know you didn't get to see it, but if you did, I wonder if you would be proud, Sasuke. She then holds her hand up to the air and passes out cold on the ground. After this, Gaara, who is bleeding profusely from his head, struggles to his feet as he's screaming that he'll kill Sakura. I'll kill you if it's the last thing I do. Gaara then transforms half of him, becoming overcome with Shikaku, and he charges Sakura, trying to kill the ninja who has brought him to this point. He stops himself, however, from attacking Sakura, and then charges off out of the arena as he plans to go wreak havoc on the Leaf Village. Immediately after Gaara runs off on his rampage, the arena is covered in a wide genjutsu and casts its effects on all of the regular civilians in the stands, along with most of the genin who can't resist genjutsu at this level. Sakura, however, wakes up during this time and looks around, seeing the nearby area destroyed and demolished, along with many people that she knows being passed out in the stands for some reason. She then tries to rush to Naruto to get his help, but forgets about her broken leg and falls back down, her leg throbbing in pain. I need to go get Naruto to help go after Gaara. She knows that her leg is the problem for now, and she takes a deep breath. She then grabs her leg with both hands, feeling for the broken bone, and clenches her teeth as hard as possible as she knows what she has to do. And in one quick twist, she snaps her leg back into place and lets out a scream that echoes throughout the arena. Although luckily, most people are unconscious, so they can't hear it. Now, after doing this, Sakura almost passes out again due to the sheer amount of pain that she is in due to, having to force her leg back into place, but she knows that her work isn't done. She gets up on one leg, steadily testing if she could put weight on her other foot, which she had recently set back in place, but she finds out that the bone, even though it has been put back, is far too weak to actually hold any weight, and Sakura realizes this through a wave of pain. Sakura then comes up with a quick temporary fix and sends all of her remaining chakra into the recently broken leg to strengthen it and hopefully numb the pain of the injury. Although the chakra gives a leg enough strength to stand and run on, the pain stays, and it turns out to be something that Sakura will just have to deal with. She then sets her sights on Naruto and rushes up the walls, waking him up from the Genjutsu, along with Shikamaru, who's turned out to be faking in the end. She quickly tells them that what she plans to do, and they all run off as fast as possible in the direction that Gaara went. In the middle of running, Shikamaru becomes aware of multiple Chunin presence and basically sacrifices himself for the mission in order to hold them off and let them continue after Gaara. On the way, they encounter Kankuro, who stands in their way. Without skipping a beat, Sakura jumps at him and throws a kick that Kankuro ducks under. She takes this opportunity to rush past him along with Naruto, who follows close behind Sakura. Before Kankuro can even follow them, Shino shows up in order to handle the fight how he would have in the original. Finally, after a bit of traveling, Sakura and Naruto stumble upon a half-transformed Gaara, who has one sand arm and has a look in his eyes that strikes fear into Sakura and Naruto's hearts. Gaara then turns to Sakura, who is the one who made him bleed, and the one who embarrassed him in front of basically everyone, and he charges her. Sakura is unable to react to this attack. As Gaara approaches, she can feel the sense of death creeping closer and closer. And just when she feels Gaara's hand closing around her, just when she feels death being at death's doorstep, she is pushed out of the way by Naruto, who shoves her out of the way and uses his own body to protect and shield Sakura. Sakura falls from the tree and sees Naruto sacrifice his own body for Sakura's sake. And for a split second, Sakura almost reverts to her old ways. She's even tempted to just give in and let Naruto whatever. She's basically about to give in to the extreme pain. But then, she relents. The inner Sakura lights a fire under Sakura. She remembers the promise she made after the Land of Waves, and she remembers all the hard work that she's put in to reach Naruto and Sasuke. I won't be a burden ever again. As she's falling, she then turns in midair, flipping, lands on her feet, and the instant that her feet touches the ground, she sends all of her chakra into her feet, building it up, and she jumps back up at Gaara, who has Naruto in his clutches. She then comes flying up and kicks Gaara in the face with both feet and sends him flying. I won't become someone you need to protect ever again, Naruto. Let's work together to beat Gaara. Naruto is stunned as he looks at Sakura, who has been beaten, bruised, and broken, and still refuses to give up and fall behind. Wow, Sakura, you really have changed quite a bit since our first mission. Naruto then smiles towards Sakura and nods. Let's go! Naruto then makes 10 shadow clones that all leap at Gaara while Sakura jumps around, trying to find an opening in the defense. As soon as Gaara swings his arm at the clones, Sakura sees an opportunity and charges full speed at Gaara, then throws a punch. If I can win if I just get this hit in. This is what Sakura thinks, and while she's focused on getting the hit in, she barely realizes in time that Gaara saw through this plan and is now swinging at full strength at Sakura. Sakura notices at the last second is able to barely put up a weak guard that is broken and sends her flying into a nearby tree. She goes crashing through trees as she just lands on the final one. If only one of us had the speed to take Gaara on, we'd be able to get through the defense. As soon as this thought crosses her mind, and Gaara charges Sakura for one last time, Sakura hears a strange sound. Then, in the blink of an eye, Sasuke appears, new jutsu, Chidori in hand, and slashes off Gaara's sand arm, and rushes back to where Sakura and Naruto are. Sorry I'm late. Are you guys ready to finish this? And that, everybody, is where I'm going to end part 3 to the What If Sakura Was Useful series. If you guys enjoyed and you do want another part to this, make sure to hit the like goal of 1,200 likes. That may be pretty hard for this series. I'm not actually sure what you guys are able to hit on this series, to be honest. I don't know how popular this is on the channel. Like, I know it's not my most popular What If, but I don't know how you guys will receive it. I personally like writing this story. I do like trying to develop characters that get no development in the series personally. I think it's fun, but that may just be me. You guys may not enjoy that. And if you don't, honestly, don't hit the like button. Only hit the like button if you guys actually enjoyed, and we'll get another part if you guys did, so we'll see. Anyways, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell if you guys have not already subbed to the channel. What are you doing if you haven't done that? Like, come on now. But anyways, I will leave links to all of my social media down below in case you guys are interested in, like, following me or just interacting with me on a more personal level. I usually am kind of open about people DMing me and, like, talking to me about what ifs and that type of stuff. So, you know, that is probably the best avenue to do it in the links that I have down below. Anyways, as always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, guys, this is AnimeX, signing off.